Okay, on the other side for Cornell, the Big Red continuing to build in year one for Emily Gardner as head coach. They've been competitive with 3 wins in their last 7 games. How do they bounce back after seeing a lead slip away? Had a big one, double digits in the first half against Yale. Could not hang on, and part of the growing pains that are going to happen as the season goes along. But Emily Gardner hoping that her team can find a way to earn win number 4 on the Ivy League season, and certainly want to do that for their seniors who have been so critical to the program over the last couple of years, and certainly for Coach Gardner in taking over the program here to set the tone in year one. Take a look at the Ivy League standings, and it seems like we got 3 teams who are in pretty good shape at the top, with Columbia, Princeton, and Harvard who have punched their tickets to Ivy Madness. The only spot remaining that has not been clinched yet is Penn in the number 4 spot. Brown has an outside chance at 4 and 8. If they were to win their final 2 games, they would need Penn to lose their last 2 games of the regular season. The Quakers are on the road taking on Harvard tonight. So Brown hoping to take care of business on the road and see what happens if it can get up for grabs next weekend. We'll take a look at the series history as well. Brown leading overall 55-33, have won 4 in a row. The first meeting back in 1974. The other meeting this year, a Brown victory in Rhode Island, and Cornell trying to find a win this afternoon to send off their seniors and trying to continue to build for Emily Gardner. Get a look at her in year one as the head coach here in Cornell. Monique LeBlanc on the other side. In her 4th season, it's been a steady growth for the Brown Bears. Went from 8th to 6th to a game away from Ivy Madness a year ago, bringing back 5 of their top 6 scorers from last season. But this has been a disappointing finish to the year as part of 6 consecutive losses. And a team that is hoping to get back on track. Have dealt with a couple of big injuries. We'll get to that as we go along this afternoon. But they have really played a role in some of the tough luck that Brown has had down the stretch of this season. Bears averaging 61 points a game. That's 5th best in the Ivy League. And a miss follow underneath. Going up and putting it in. Arnoli with the miss. And a foul on Jada Davis, the senior from San Diego, getting the start. And Gianna Aiello, senior's having a breakout season, 9 points, 8 rebounds per game. One of the most improved players in the Ivy League, connects to complete the 3-point play. It's a Cornell team that has struggled on offense for the balance of the year. That was on display in the 4th quarter when they could not put away Yale yesterday. Had the lead, only 6 points in that 4th. Trying to find a way to put together some offense with their seniors on the floor to start it. And a fumble by Lexi Green. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with Cornell, 9 to shoot. And that has been the difference for Cornell, just trying to find a way to come up with a couple of big baskets down the stretch in a game where they had an opportunity to close it out. Have worked on the inside. Summer Parker Hall was good to get her back as part of a big second half. Shot clock winding down. That 3 no good for Kelsey Langston. Battle for the board won by Cornell. Extra offensive possession. Cornell not shooting threes all that much. They've made more than 4 in a game only once in Ivy League play. See if they can tap into that with a couple of games to go. Parker Hall drawing a crowd, doesn't matter. Summer Parker Hall, the senior, having an all-Ivy caliber season, 12-6. Was honored pregame. And some tears strolling down her face. Knows how much that it means to be a part of this program. On the inside, swatted away, Jada Davis with the rejection. And the Cornell bench loving what they're seeing from their seniors getting some run to begin the afternoon. Jada Davis has not played a ton this year. Getting her opportunity, working against a difficult customer, and Gianna Aiello, who turns around and scores. Coach LeBlanc so complimentary of Gianna Aiello, said that she helped set the standard for the commitment in our program. A senior who was honored on Senior Day last weekend in Providence on a travel with Clark Jackson trying to make a move to the basket. And that has been the difficult situation that Brown has been put in this year. Coach LeBlanc really appreciative of their seniors. They have a team that has experience, was returning 5 of their top 6 scorers from a year ago. Defense has not quite been as good as it was last year as Aiello goes up and scores, plus the foul again. Gianna Aiello has 7 early points on the inside and a chance to make it 8. Wow. Everyone in this Brown program raves about Gianna Aiello, thinking about the growth that she has made over 4 years. No good on the free throw. Averaged 3 points a game across her first 3 seasons, up to 9 and 8 this year. Coach LeBlanc crediting the extra workouts, her commitment to relentlessly get better. And deflected out of bounds by Emily Pape, will stay with Brown. Beth Nelson, work it inside. It's worked all afternoon long in the early going. Aiello got walled off that time. Back out to Nelson, inside 10 to shoot. Arnoli with a crossover, defended by Langston. Kick it outside. 3 ball, no good for Olivia Young. And Clark Jackson has a rebound. This is a Brown team that has dealt with some significant injuries, especially on the defensive end. Emily Pape too strong on a triple. Ada Anamakwe has not played this year. Alyssa Moreland, who was so good last season, has been limited to 13 games. Missed by Olivia Young on the outside. Rebound by Cornell. And those two help combine to lead the team in rebounds and blocks. So a Brown defense that was 3rd in the Ivy League a year ago has slipped to 7th. And those two missing pieces, a big reason why. Jackson trying to turn the corner. Works it to the outside. 3 ball by Langston. Comes up short. And it's out of bounds. Possession back to Brown. Cornell has struggled in the early going. Just 1 of 4 with a pair of turnovers. Brown team that loves to shoot the 3 as well. Top 25 in the country in 3-point attempts. That leads the Ivy League. But they're only shooting 30% as a team this season. That's 5th best in the league. 3 ball, Arnoli that time knocks it down. Junior having another terrific season, 15 and 3. 15 again last night against Columbia. And all Ivy honorable mention her first 2 years. And someone who has helped drive the culture here at Brown. Missed by Pape. Trying to respond with a 3. 10-2 run for Brown to begin the afternoon. Arnoli on the move. Spins inside, draws the double. Tried to work it out, intercepted. Paige Ingles bounces for Pape, who pays it off. Cornell out and running off the turnover. Some of the adjustments that Brown has had to make. Want to play with a little more pace this year. Not working it inside, although Aiello has been great in the early going. Turnaround, Arnoli left it short. Rebound by Engels. Cornell pushing again. Give it up, Pape, defended by Klein. Pass got deflected, and Arnoli chases it down. Her bounce got kicked And a heads-up play by Rachel Cows to get in front of that pass and prevent an easy bucket. It'll send us to our first timeout of the day. Good start for the Brown Bears on the road. Gianna Aiello with 7 points, perfect 3 out of 3 from the field. And extends the Brown lead to 7. Two out of 2 for Aiello. Cornell trying to find an answer for one of the best forwards in the Ivy League this season. Azaria Kilgo is checked in. Work it over to Rachel Cows. She got walled off. Kilgo slowing it down. Can Cornell create a little more consistent offense? Pass inside, deflected away. Last touched by Cornell. And the Big Red turn it over again. They're 4th in this first quarter. Cornell offense that struggled in the first matchup with Brown in Providence. Held to 39 points, which is their second lowest total of the year. Shot 34% in that game in late January and had 19 turnovers. Aiello lost her footing, tried to get rid of it and gave it away. Rolls in front to Clark Jackson, who's got an easy bucket. Good bounce for the Big Red, back within 6. See if they can get their defense going to create some momentum. That has been the calling card for Cornell this season. Top 4 in defense in the Ivy League. Mauricio off target on a triple. Kilgo on the move. Passed it up, got it back. Her jumper. Rebound by Aiello. 9 points and 4 boards already for the 6'4" senior out of New Jersey. Isabella Mauricio, over 1,000 points in her Brown career. Works to the corner. Klein no good. Aiello battling for the board. Tips it to Olivia Young, who can't finish. Cornell trying to hang in there on the boards. Cows off the dribble. Clark Jackson, can she create? Work out to Kilgo. 5 to shoot. Azaria Kilgo gives way. Cows hits a 3. Rachel Cows, who has been so valuable off the bench, the sophomore averaging 9 and 4 this season, gets Cornell out of an uneven possession, makes it a 3-point game. Arnoli reclaims, got a screen, gave it up. Dump inside, Aiello. That time, it rolls off. Another good look on the interior for Brown. Kilgo got the first step to create. Outside Emily Pape. Works on Klein. Left it short. Loose ball, dive by Pape to keep it alive. Thought it was a sure Brown rebound. Kilgo on the attack. And one. Azaria Kilgo with the ball on the floor said, I'll take that. Run to the rim and a chance to tie it up at the free throw line. Pape got on it. Pushed it away. Azaria Kilgo. And the sophomore guard fired up. No good on the free throw. Emily Gardner loves what Azaria Kilgo can bring to this team. Said that she's always got the ability to give us a spark, get us some energy when we need it. Played a lot of games, continuing to grow. Loves the progression that she's shown at times this year. Nelson, no good on a 3. Run team that loves to shoot them. They're 1 of 6 in this first quarter. Summer Parker Hall, who's checked back in, gave it up. Looking to get Kilgo his screen. Pick and roll. Parker Hall puts Cornell in front for the first time today. Second bucket for Summer Parker Hall, and a steal by Kilgo. She gets it back. Euro step and scores. It's an 11-0 Cornell run to take a 3-point lead. The Big Red answering back after Brown's hot start. Arnoli with 2 seconds of separation. Offensive foul. Ima Uferin called for the moving screen. Cornell with a chance for another bucket to close it out, and Kilgo on the move draws the foul with 1.7 to go in the first. It'll go on Isabella Mauricio, her first. Float inside, Parker Hall. Can't get it to go. It'll close out what was a strong finish to the first quarter for Cornell. 11-0 run to take a 3-point lead here in Ithaca. Summer Parker Hall, Azaria Kilgo each with 4 to lead the way for the Big Red, who shot 7 of 14 in the opening quarter. And after a really hot start for Gianna Aiello, Brown cooled off. Missed one of their last 4 shots. Float underneath, got deflected out of bounds. Paige Ingles in the corner. What a finish to that first for Cornell, creating some instant offense. Kilgo from the corner. Aiello clears for her 5th rebound. Was a struggle to close the first for Brown offensively. Scoreless for the last 5 minutes. Summer Parker Hall doing a nice job on Aiello in the posts. Backing down with 4 to shoot and 3. Goes up, tough shot, missed it. Kilgo the rebound. Pass in front to Ingles on the run. She lays it in. Paige Ingles with her first bucket. And the run continues for Cornell, 13-0. Curl around, Mauricio no good on a triple. Brown 1 of 8 from downtown. And Cornell's defense putting the clamps on the Bears after an uneven start. Zaria Kilgo adding some energy, works it over, Ingles. No good. Calhoun open. Too strong. Kilgo running. Cows 1 bounce. Blocked away. Good defense. And Nelson lost it out of bounds. Junior Beth Nelson, who's been a regular part of the rotation, that time just couldn't hang on. Cornell gets a gift to grab possession. Brown shooting just 4 of 17 so far this afternoon. Making the trip into Ithaca after losing last night to Columbia in New York City. Pretty much everyone who's gone to New York City has lost playing Columbia this year. It's been a dominant program over the last couple. Class of the Ivy League. Nelson works it over. Another three that won't go. That time Leahy couldn't connect. Clark Jackson on the move. Pape. Langston couldn't catch it cleanly and get up a shot, so she'll settle it down. 13-0 run for Cornell over the last 7.5 minutes. Brown has just not found any offense. 4 to shoot. Pape. Parker Hall from the mid-range. Arnoli reels in the rebound. Young tries to triple. Clark Jackson with the board. Both offenses are struggling right now. Brown is one of their last 13 from the field. Parker Hall can't connect. Young with the board. And Cornell has gone cold as well. 3-ball won't go again. Arnoli. 1 of 12 for Brown in this first half from distance. Pape left it short, out of bounds. No points in the last 3 minutes. Both offenses trying to get it going. And that is really the question for Cornell. Saw that spurt yesterday against Yale where they were able to get out to a lead, but could not put the Bulldogs away. Arnoli on the drive, draws a foul, and will get to the free throw line. It's on Kelsey Langston. Her first and Cornell's first. But Cornell creating that lead with that one big run and could not put it away because of their inability to score down the stretch. And as great as the now 13-2 run is, only have a 3-point lead. Brown will pick up full court. Bears weathering the storm of an ice-cold shooting stretch to get points on the board. Foul on the Bears out away from the basket. And that's one of the things that makes it so difficult against Cornell. They've been really good defensively on the whole of the year. Also done it without fouling. They're top 25 in the country in avoiding fouls. Jackson too strong on her try on the floater. It goes out of bounds, last touched by Brown. So Cornell will keep it 14 on the shot clock. But when you can do that, you can force teams into stretches like that where there are no easy buckets. And Brown went cold for about 7 minutes. Pape on the float, picked off by Mauricio. She'll run in transition. Mauricio no good. Aiello rips down an offensive board. Cornell trying to pry it away. And the possession arrow is with the Bears. Summer Parker Hall will check in. Good to see Summer available this afternoon. Went down for a few minutes on what looked like a pretty scary injury yesterday. But knowing what this Cornell program means to her, I think it would have taken a lot for her to not be out here on senior day. Arnoli knocks one down from the mid-range to make it a 1-point game. Langston gives way for Rachel Kaus. Stepping back, float inside. Parker Hall had too much on it. Another try off the feed by Kilgo. This time, Parker Hall puts it away. 6 points for Summer Parker Hall. Aiello's been quiet since her red-hot start. Senior on senior, offensive foul. Summer Parker Hall, that has seen just a combined 8 points through the first almost 6 minutes of this second quarter. Cornell looking to bounce back from consecutive losses. A heartbreaker last time out yesterday afternoon against Yale. Brown has lost 6 straight games trying to keep their slim Ivy Madness hopes alive. Would need to win out and see Brown lose out over the last 2 games of the regular season. Parker Hall got stuffed. Good defense by Aiello. Hand in from Langston, and she forces a turnover. Zaria Kilgo helps start that Cornell run late stages of the first quarter. Angles over to Kilgo. No good. And a foul battling for the loose ball. Goes on Summer Parker Hall. Her first. Up top for Nelson. Puts it on the floor, picks up her dribble. Back out to Arnoli, who's got 7 in his first half. Grace Arnoli for Nelson. No good on another 3. Struggles continue for Brown from deep. Kilgo. Such an explosive first step. Cornell couldn't create any offense with it. Baseline drive. Angles goes up. Couldn't finish from in close. Arnoli with her 4th rebound. Nelson inside going at Angles. Too strong. Possession will stay with Brown after Angles tried to save it along the baseline. No scoring again for another stretch of 2 minutes and 30 seconds in this game. Arnoli breaks the drought. It's from the mid-range. Makes it a 1-point game. Inside 10 to shoot for Cornell. Rachel Kaus working on Young, draws the double inside Parker Hall. Tried a tough shot and couldn't get it up above the rim. Bella Mauricio settles it down on the outside. Got it back, trying to get her involved offensively. Pick and roll. Aiello draws the foul. Foul will go on Azaria Kilgo. And that'll be her first and Cornell's 3rd here inside a minute to go in the second quarter. Aiello hits the first free throw into double figures in the first half, and we are tied once again. No good on the second. Rebound by Jackson. Cornell approaching 4 minutes scoreless. Can the Big Red find some offense? Trying to work it inside to Parker Hall, deflected out by Aiello. Cornell just 4 points in the second quarter. They're 2 of 16 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. Kilgo dribbled it off her foot. Big Red turn it over. And the Cornell defense that was so impressive toward the tail end of the first has seen Brown pick it up on that end of the floor in the second. Inside for Aiello, draws the double, wing it around for Mauricio. Klein on the drive, gives way. Aiello creates space, sticks it plus the foul. Another and one opportunity for Gianna Aiello. Got away from Summer Parker Hall. And Aiello with 12 first half points and a chance to make it 13. This is a Cornell team that does not have a ton of size. Aiello missing the free throw, loose ball reeled in by Brown. And Aiello is taking advantage in this opening half. Shot clock turned off. Brown can hold for the last shot. Mauricio's floater won't go. And that'll close out the first half here in Ithaca. Defensive battle on both sides. A run by the Big Red, answered by a run from the team that has been struggling and turn it around with incremental growth and progression. No, that's where Emily Gardner's focus is, taking over this program, and it has led to a couple more wins this year. Could lead to another with a strong second half. We are underway in a 2-point game. Engel stepping back, doesn't get the roll. Aiello tried to reel in that rebound. She deflected it, and it falls to Summer Parker Hall, who draws a foul. Looked like Aiello had it for a moment. Summer Parker Hall ripped it away, and that foul underneath is going to go on Cornell. Surprising call. I thought initially it was on Brown. So the foul on Cornell. Arnoli tries a triple, won't go. Just 2 combined threes in the first half for these two teams. It has been a rough day for outside shooting. Parker Hall works it out. Emily Pape off the dribble. Rolls off. Rebound collected by Nelson. Mauricio in transition. Hits a 3. Brown finally gets one to go. And Isabella Mauricio on the board with the first points for Brown today, not from Aiello or Arnoli. Pape no good on a jumper. Offensive board by Jackson, and she gets fouled. Cornell has not scored in 5.5 minutes of game time. Had just 4 points in the second quarter. Can they find some offense? Parker Hall drawing the double, blocked by Aiello. Third block of the day for the senior. Leads to an open three. Mauricio can't hit, but a follow by Nelson, laying it back up and in. 5 quick points for Brown to kick off the second half, and Emily Gardner will take a timeout. Brown Bears trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. Cornell hasn't scored in over 6 minutes of game time. 5-0 early run out of the halftime locker room for the Bears. So Cornell taking a timeout, trying to find anything offensively. Engels on the drive out of the corner and draws a foul. Big Red shot 7 of 14 in the first quarter. Since then, they are just 2 of 20 from the field. And for an offense struggling to find anything, a trip to the free throw line sorely needed, but Engels can't connect on the first. Empty trip for Paige Engels. And the offensive struggles for Cornell continue. Arnoli got it taken away. Kilgo on the run in transition. Can't finish in close. And Aiello grabs the rebound. Another opportunity goes by the boards for the Big Red. Arnoli off the dribble. Got it back inside 10. Work it inside to Aiello. Guarded by Parker Hall. Aiello can't get it to fall in. Offensive board. Nelson blow by. Left it short. Aiello trying to reel that in. And it's out of bounds. Both teams shooting under 30% in this one. Can Cornell break the scoreless drought? Jackson wheeling around. Can't connect from the mid-range. Offensive board. Kilgo to the corner. Vivian Nee. No good. Another try. Summer Parker Hall with an offensive rebound. Cornell looking for a third shot as part of this possession. Engels with 2 to shoot. Bounces inside. Parker Hall lays it in. And for the first time in almost 8 minutes of game time, Cornell on the board and within 5. Summer Parker Hall has 8. Stop. Mauricio turns around and hits. Isabella Mauricio. Coach LeBlanc so complimentary of her as a senior out of California. Said that she's got the pure love of the game that every coach wants to be around. Jackson stops. Kilgo with a ball fake. Parker Hall, shot clock winding down. Finds Jackson. Muscles through to finish it off. Back-to-back buckets for Cornell. Mauricio guarded by Kilgo. Got a screen, gave it up. And Vivian Nee floats it over. Paige Engels drive it inside. Work it to Parker Hall. Working around a double. Could not put it in. Parker Hall just 4 of 12 from the field now. 5-point game. Emily Gardner saying and taking over this Cornell program that every game is a battle. And it's such a great conference, top to bottom. And with a foul, Cornell in another battle here in this third quarter. Big Red finally finding some offense with a couple of baskets after going scoreless for almost 7 minutes. And Cornell trying to close the gap after they took the lead with a strong first quarter. Trying to stem the tide and find a little more offense on an afternoon where both sides have struggled from the field. Kilgill kicks it out. Kaus can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Clark Jackson thought it was last touched by Brown. Doesn't get the call. And still one of the encouraging pieces of where this Cornell team and program are at the moment. Has not been their day shooting the basketball, the hustle, some of the little things still there. Clark Jackson doing everything she can to scrap to try and create an extra possession, and Aiello got shoved in close and draws a foul. Second on Rachel Kaus, and that is a tough call. Didn't seem like there was a ton of contact with Aiello trying to create her shot. But when you've had the day that she's had, get a call. Now up to 13 points and 13 rebounds. A double-double for the standout senior. One out of two. 6-point game. And these bounce got deflected. Kickball. And Emily Pape will come back in with Vivian Nee checking out. Emily Pape just 2 points in 12 minutes this afternoon. One of Cornell's top scorers, averaging 10 points a game. See if the Big Red can get her a little more involved now that she's back in. Kaus with a couple of ball fakes, turns around, can't connect. Left it short, but Clark Jackson with the follow. 4 to shoot and 3. Kilgo for Kaus. In close, little too strong. Long pass ahead, off of Aiello's fingertips and out of bounds. Brown trying to move maybe a little too quickly. And they turn it over. Summer Parker Hall. Got it to Langston, wheeling around. Goes out to Pape. Too strong on a triple. Rebound for Calhoun. She gets out and running. And a collision. Trying to chase down that ball. Saw Isabella Mauricio check that. It's Grace Arnoli go down. Mauricio picks up the foul. And Arnoli will hit the bench. Certainly hope that she's all right. Last thing that Brown needs in a year where they've dealt with so many injuries. And Arnoli was leading the charge about the next man up mentality at the beginning of this year. Jackson, no good on her run to the rim. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Brown ball. But she said that, players graduate, have injuries, and miss time every year. The only thing that we can do is to look forward and figure out how we can make the best of the circumstances that we're facing. And That's what Brown has tried to do as best they can, but the reality is some of the injuries to some really key players that they've had this season have made it very difficult for them to play to their potential. Has not hurt their defense today. Cornell with just 23 points on the board with a minute and a half to go in the third. Ball fake by Pape. Works inside for Parker Hall. Got bumped, no call. Kilgo inside, 10 to shoot. Parker Hall called for the travel. Cornell wanted a foul, and Emily Gardner continuing to make her point in front of the Cornell bench. And it looks like she certainly has a case with Parker Hall getting bumped in that spot. Officials let it go. Mauricio. 5 points in this second half. Good to see Arnoli back in the game. Quick tape up. Her floater rolls in. Grace Arnoli, no worse for the wear. 11 points to go with 6 rebounds today. Brown has opened up an 8-point lead, their largest of the day. Parker Hall inside. Got bumped, and that time draws the foul.
That's her third personal. Team Smith. Summer Parker Hall in the line for the Big Red.
Summer Parker Hall headed to the free throw line. 8 points to lead Cornell this afternoon on senior day. Her first is good. Has meant so much to this Cornell program. Trying to will her team back in it in her final game here in Ithaca. No good on the second. 7-point game. Five-second separation between shot and game clock. Arnoli got it poked and draws the foul. It's on Azaria Kilgo, her second. Floated out to Young, got deflected. Mauricio's got it. Young back. Arnoli lets it fly. Won't go, and that'll close out the third quarter. Cornell with a couple of buckets to close the gap. But Brown takes a 7-point lead to the fourth quarter. Trying to keep their Ivy Med. Been a great shooting day for either of these two teams. Brown at 11 of 36, Cornell 11 for 45, and the Bears have a 7-point lead heading to the fourth quarter. Cornell has scored 9 points over the last 20 minutes on just 4 of 31 from the field. Trying to snap a string of back-to-back losses. Brown has lost 6 straight and need a win to stay mathematically alive for Ivy Madness in Providence in a couple of weekends. Parker Hall at the free throw line won't go. Kilgo battling for an offensive board. Pape trying to dive and save it. She does, but can't find a teammate. Kenzie Leahy one of those top Brown players who has dealt with injury a lot of the year, playing limited minutes today. Aiello underneath, defended by Parker Hall, rolls off, rebound by Pape. Up top for Engels, inside 5 to shoot. Cornell trying to find something on this possession. Engels, her pass out to the corner got deflected, and a shot clock violation. Beth Nelson will come in for the Bears. This is a spot yesterday where Cornell had a lead in the fourth and could not put it away because Yale's defense showed up to keep them in it. Cornell on the reverse end this afternoon, trying to do everything they can to keep this a manageable deficit. Leahy, shot clock winding down, left it well short. Cornell grabs the rebound. Big Red pushing. Pape inside, Parker Hall open. And a great find to Parker Hall, who's up to 11. Emily Pape with the assist. Back to a 5-point game. Outside Leahy got it knocked away, but a foul will go on Kelsey Langston. And talking about that fourth quarter that saw Cornell stymied yesterday, just 6 points in that fourth, and then the 24 on the board through 3 quarters today. That's 30 points in their last 4 quarters. Got a miss here. Engels over to Pape. Her 3 goes in. Emily Pape wasn't sure. She went to go chase a miss. Didn't need to. Back to a 2-point game with a second Cornell 3 of the day. Down to the wire yesterday. Cornell right in it again this afternoon. Big Red of the last 6 points. Arnoli draws the foul. Clark Jackson picks up the personal. And she hits the first. Arnoli with 12 points today, along with 6 rebounds. Will be a pillar player for Brown at the end of this year and into next. So no Monique LeBlanc trying to continue to build into next year with this Brown program. 4-point game. Engels has some space, got it blocked. Loose ball taken by Kilgo. Nice job by the sophomore to run it down. Emily Pape with 7 to shoot. Bounces inside, and a foul trying to deny the pass. Will go on Gianna Aiello. That's her 3rd. Emily Pape tries another triple. That time it won't go. Long rebound taken in by Beth Nelson. Young curling around a screen. Too strong on a three. Rebound by Summer Parker Hall. Cornell has closed the gap. Good defense. Can they find offense? Jackson floated in. Parker Hall's bounce got deflected. Pape runs it down. Over to Engels. She creates some space. Parker Hall's jumper won't go. She got her own miss. Goes back up and lays it in. Summer Parker Hall determined on her senior day. She's got 13. And Brown's going to take a timeout. The second to last weekend of the Ivy League season, Brown and Cornell in a 2-point game in Ithaca. Big Red looking for their 4th conference victory of the season. Would be their most in 3 years. Brown looking for Ivy League win number 5 to stay in it into the final weekend. Bears have lost 6 straight games. Can they find a win this afternoon? Cornell battling on their senior day. And Summer Parker Hall reaching in to try and rip away a loose ball. Gets called for a foul. If it stays on Hall, looks like they're confirming at the moment. Would be Hall's 3rd. That drive by Nelson got blocked away. Foul underneath again. They'll just say clean play, ball out of bounds. 2 seconds and 1. Aiello coughed it up. Engels into the front court in a 2-point game. Give and go. Tried to work it over. Summer Parker Hall kicks to the corner. Emily Pay puts Cornell back on top. Second 3 of the day and the biggest one for the Cornell junior standout. Mauricio looking for an answer. Aiello inside, goes up, and a foul called. Emily Pay picks up her first and Cornell's 3rd. And Gianna Aiello, who got off to such a blazing start, 9 points in the first quarter, has had 4 since. Getting to the free throw line again and can't connect on the first. She's got 13 points today and 14 rebounds. Her second goes down. Tie game at 34. With 4 minutes to go. It has been a struggle. Two sides really want to win. Parker Hall drawing the double, got knocked over and called for a travel. Summer Parker Hall was asking for a foul and didn't get it. And now Emily Gardner over to say her piece. Newman Arena crowd getting into it. With 4 minutes to go in the home season for the Big Red. Arnoli stops along the baseline. Her jumper off target. Engels with the rebound. Kilgo Over to Emily Pape, who hit a big second three to give Cornell their first lead since the first quarter. Jackson works it out. Inside 10 to shoot. Parker Hall stops. Got it blocked away. Jackson trying to retrieve that loose ball. Aiello does a nice job to bring it in. Closing in on 3 minutes to go. Arnoli pulls the trigger. Too strong. Deflected out of bounds. Mauricio and Jackson tangled up. Another missed three by the Bears. They are 2 of 20 this afternoon. Cornell is 3 of 18. Nelson lost it. Stays with Brown. Bounce inside, going up. Olivia Young draws the foul. Emily Pape picks up her second. Wanting to prevent an easy bucket, and Olivia Young to the free throw line. Young, the sophomore, moving into the starting lineup this year, 6-4. Showed flashes down the stretch last season and has followed it up with another good year. And somebody who's had to step up with some of the injuries that Brown has had. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line to make it a 1-point game. Pape on the perimeter. Over to Kilgo. Zone has been tough today for Cornell. Clark Jackson on the drive. Left it short off the rim. Good defense by Brown. Got the stop. Can they get the score to create separation? Arnoli along the baseline. Kick out Young. Doesn't take the three. Mauricio does. And it won't go. Emily Pape the rebound. Inside 2 to go. Engels working around. No good on a three. Offensive board. Jackson back up. It rolls off. And it's off Aiello to stay with the Big Red. Clark Jackson had a great look with a chance to put Cornell back on top. Azaria Kilgo at the controls. Defended by Mauricio. Got a screen. Kilgo works it back to Jackson. And now Pape with 3 to shoot. Chucks it up. Won't go. Aiello with a 15th board of the day. And a foul. Trying to chase down the loose ball on Summer Parker Hall.
Cornell foul charge to number 24, Summer Parker Hall.
It's her third with 1:25 to go. Gianna Aiello, 14 points and 15 rebounds. Is 6 of 11 from the line today. Hits the first. No good on the second. Battle for the board, won by Paige Engels. Kilgo inside. Pape goes up, draws the foul. And Cornell with one of their best breaks of the day. Moving quickly, Kilgo inside. Pape got a great look, draws the foul, and a chance to tie it up at the line. Emily Pape hits the first. Been a struggle offensively on both sides. Pape's second up and good. Big Red not going away. Arnoli into the front court, and Brown will use a timeout with 1:13 to go and a couple of huge possessions coming up. Cornell shooting 26% today. They're 3 of 20 from 3. Brown 25% and 2 of 21 from deep. And two teams in a war of attrition and trying to find that last basket that'll make the difference. Cornell scored just 9 points across the second and third quarters. They've got 12 here in the fourth to tie it up at 36. And Brown, with 1:13 remaining in the fourth, does not have a field goal in this quarter. 5 points, all coming off of free throws. They are 0 of 8 from the floor. And just like Cornell couldn't do yesterday afternoon, Brown has not been able to find the offense to put away a team that they had a lead on coming into the fourth quarter. And for a Cornell program trying to create a building block and trend in the right direction, they are certainly playing some competitive basketball down the stretch of this season. So close to a win yesterday. Can they find a comeback victory this afternoon? Inbound goes to Aiello. Now finds Nelson. Arnoli's been really good. Aiello picks up an offensive foul with Parker Hall tumbling to the floor. And for Aiello, it's foul number 4. And on a day where Gianna Aiello has 15 points and 16 rebounds, a massive foul to turn possession back over to Cornell. And Aiello, with 64 seconds remaining in regulation, has to be really careful about how she defends. Officials wanted to make sure they had everything squared away. Time on the clock, so critical, with 64 ticks left. Some energy inside Newman Arena. Engels back out for Clark Jackson. Kilgo looking for a screen inside 10 to shoot. Azaria Kilgo floats it up. No good, but a foul. Goes on Isabella Mauricio. Fourth on Mauricio. So Aiello and Mauricio each have 4 fouls. Clark Jackson doing a nice job to set up that possession, and Azaria Kilgo paying it off by getting to the free throw line, and she can't connect on the first. Kilgo has added so much energy to this team this season. Can she come through to give the Big Red the lead. No good. Offensive board by Pape. Game stays tied at 36. Cornell, another chance. Critical offensive board for Cornell. Kilgo steps back. Mid-range jumper won't go. And Arnoli comes away from the scrum with possession. And Brown will take a timeout with 16 ticks left. And the shot clock turned off. Azaria Kilgo goes 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Cornell gets a second chance with an offensive rebound. And the Big Red come up empty on that trip down the floor, and it stays 36 all. Cornell just 3 of 9 from the free throw line today. And on a day where both teams have struggled from the floor, the free throw shooting could be the difference with some of the missed opportunities that the Big Red haven't capitalized on. But a few seconds back on the clock, 19 to go. Shot clock remains turned off. And now back down to 16, so no time added. 16 seconds remaining. Not that it matters a ton. Would imagine that the plan for the Bears is to hold for the final shot. Aiello's been great. She's in the corner right now. Kilgo trying to deny the pass, was headed for Arnoli. And a foul on Azaria Kilgo. Kilgo's third, and it will send Arnoli to the line with Cornell in the penalty. First is good. Bears by 1. 6.5 seconds remaining. Second goes down. Emily Gardner will use a timeout. Try and draw up the final play for Cornell with 6.5 seconds remaining. And Grace Arnoli, who's up to 15 points today, a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line, sinks a pair in a critical situation down the stretch. Brown trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Nothing has been all that easy over the last month plus for the Bears. And on a day where they are shooting 25% from the floor, do not have a field goal in the fourth quarter, can they hang on with one last defensive stop? And Cornell on the other end, chasing a fourth conference win, would be their most in 3 years, and match their combined total from the last 2. Do they have one last offensive possession at their disposal to try and win it? Could not get it done yesterday in this situation, trying to come up with some offense. Can they do it here down by 2? 6.5 seconds remaining. Kilgo inbounds. Works it over to Ingles. Paige Ingles. Bounce inside. Back out. 3-ball. Pape. No good. Battle for the board. Back up. And Brown finds a way here in Ithaca. On a day where two teams shot 25% from the field, Brown's defense delivers the final stop and an end to their 6-game losing streak. 5th Ivy League win of the season for the Bears.